So welcome back to another episode of the things we want to see in FIFA 21. This is the show where you guys send in your ideas, your suggestions on what you would like to put in FIFA 21, and I'll put them together and I'll review each idea. So today we're going to have another cracking episode talking about new faces, some career mode additions, gameplay features, and much more, so I hope you do enjoy. Now, if you want to know all the latest FIFA 21 news when it comes around this year, make sure you subscribe today. This is the best spot to get it. We've got a big percentage of you guys watching the videos but not subscribed, so make sure you subscribe today and join the other side. As you guys know, each episode features a new face suggestion. Last week we spoke about Ansu Fati from Barcelona. This week we're going to be talking about another Barcelona player, and that is Frenkie de Jong. Now, if you didn't know, Frenkie de Jong in FIFA 20 at the moment is one of the best players in the game, especially for career mode as well. He's got an 86 overall and a 92 potential, only 22 years old as well, so career mode players do like this guy. And the main issue with him at the moment is the fact that he's got a generic face. Now, I know many career mode people avoid signing players that don't have a real face in the game because it just takes away from the realism, the immersion of the game. So I think if EA could do a custom face, maybe they should do it for De Jong as well. But of course, the Barcelona license with Konami is going to be an issue because Barcelona and Konami are premium partners, which means, Konami can scan the players and stuff. So I know I can't really expect any Barcelona face updates in FIFA 21 due to the licensing. But you never know. I think maybe one Barcelona player got updated this year. I can't remember. Was it Luis Suarez or something? So maybe they could do something, but I'm not 100% sure. Here is what De Jong looks like in PES. Obviously, with the license, they can give him a real face. Hopefully, he does look something similar to that when FIFA 21 comes around. It would be a nice little face update. So next up, we have a suggestion from Taze Allen, and he says that in FIFA 21, we should have all the Central American leagues, so EA could add the CONCACAF Champions League. Now, of course, this is all a licensing thing, but at the moment, we've got the Libertadores, which is like the South American Champions League. We've also got the UEFA Champions League, which is the biggest one. And then also, people would like to see the inclusion of the CONCACAF Champions League next. Now, if you didn't know, the CONCACAF Champions League is made up of teams from North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. So I think in FIFA, we've got a few different leagues already that are a part of this Champions League, like the MLS and the Liga MX, which is the Mexican league. But then we're also going to be missing leagues like the Canadian Premier League and also the Caribbean one as well. So if they were to include the CONCACAF, they would have to get some new licensing in the game. I think the Canadian Premier League was partnering up with the esports side of things, so maybe in the future you could see the Canadian Premier League as a full league in a FIFA game. But I guess at the same time, EA doesn't really need to get the full league license. They can just maybe go to different teams that are participating in the tournament and try and get the licenses that way. Of course, it sounds easy coming out of my mouth, but it could be a hard thing to get different licenses in different regions. I'm not sure how it all works. It's very confusing at times, this whole licensing game. Regardless, people want to see the CONCACAF Champions League and of course some other leagues that belong to that CONCACAF region in the game as well. So in FIFA games at the moment we have a lot of different leagues that are first division for each country, but a lot of countries are lacking that second division and they've got it in real life but it's not a part of the FIFA game due to licensing. So this one is a suggestion from Philip and he goes, EA needs to add the Netherlands second division in FIFA 21. Now, of course, whenever we talk about like leagues and stuff, it all comes down to licensing. EA will pay if it does bring them a good return. They've got the first division already. Is the second division going to help? I don't know. It would be nice for the player because you can do another road to glory in a different country, through the Dutch leagues. But I don't know if they're going to do it. Next up, we have a suggestion from Harsh, and he would like to see dynamic fan bases. Now, he says that if a club is in bad form, there will be less crowds, and if a club is doing well, there should be more crowds. So basically, dynamic attendances depending on performance. I call this dynamic crowds. It's sort of the same thing. I would like to see different attendance rates. I would like to see empty seats in the stadium, and I don't want to see a League 2 game with a 40,000 attendance when in real life it doesn't happen like that for the most part, So it is definitely a cool idea to have in career mode. So imagine if your team is playing bad, you will see less people going to the games. And then if your team starts playing better, starts, climbing up the ladder, you'll see more people turning up to support the club. Ticket sales could go up and you'll see less empty seats. So I think for the next gen, EA should definitely improve the crowds because, they haven't really done much to it. And I think part of that improvement should be dynamic crowds, dynamic fan bases, whatever you want to call it. Next up, we have a suggestion from Nathan, and he would like to see improvements to the training feature in career mode. So he goes, I've come up with an idea for what EA could add into FIFA 21 in terms of training. Training hasn't been updated in so long, and Pro Clubs has an upgrade skill tree system, which is quite good actually, I think. So basically update training in career mode where you train a player and after a while you earn a skill point or 3 or 5 or whatever, and playing well in games earns skill points as well, which can be spent to upgrade a player. I think this could be incorporated very easily as they wouldn't have to add anything into the game as it's already in there. Could be a game changer. Now I don't really play pro clubs. I don't really know much about this whole skill upgrade thing, but I'll take a look at it. And I could be wrong, but hopefully I'm not. I think this is the skill tree thing that he was talking about. So each player or position is going to have their own little traits and stuff. And then as you go along, as you get more experience points, I don't know if that's the right word, you can unlock different traits. And as you can see, the tree starts having more branches and stuff. It's hard to explain, but you can see it visually anyway. Now, could this work for, a manager career mode, or is this going to be good just for player career mode? I guess they could throw it into player career mode since pro clubs uses virtual pros anyway, so it's the same sort of system. But yeah, let me know if you would like to see the skill tree instead of the current system in player career mode. Next up, we have a suggestion from Account 2, and this one is a career mode addition. It is an interesting little feature here. So he goes, when a player joins a new club, they should be able to request a number. In FIFA 21, there should be something like that where you can sign a player, or if there is a number that is synonymous with a position, the player could request that number, like a number 10 for a striker or something. So yeah, giving players the ability to request a number could be pretty cool when you're doing your negotiations. I think in general, the whole negotiation system needs more features, more options. Of course, you need the loan to buy option, and maybe they can also request a number like we just spoke about here. We have another career mode suggestion from Account 2. He would like to see the ability to train players in positions that they are not already playing in. So let's say you have Leroy Sané who plays as a left winger. If you want to make him a striker or a right winger, you put him through a training program, and then after a certain amount of weeks or months, he will have a secondary position where he can play and he'll be just as good, and it could be useful to your team. I think in PES, if you play a player out of position, let's say you play a right back in a left back spot, over time he's going to get used to that position if you keep it consistent and you keep playing him in that position. So there is an ability in PES to actually train the player, and I think it's a good feature to have because sometimes you have a shortage of left backs, but you have a lot of right backs, and you would love to be able to put a right back in a left back spot, and over time he could become your main left back. So there is definitely a few ways to do it. They can create a new training system for it, or they can just sort of copy PES, and if you play the player consistently in that spot, over time he's going to get used to it, and his stats will improve in that position as well, and it'll become like his secondary position or something. Next up, we have a suggestion from Humphrey, and he would like the ability in career mode, more specifically be a pro mode, whatever you call it, player career mode. He would like the ability to retire from international teams or international duty. I'm surprised you can't do this already, considering that you can retire in the game mode already, but you can't specifically just retire from international duty, and you see players all around the world retiring from international duty once they reach a certain age, but they still continue to play at the club level. So I'm not sure why you can't do it in the game. I think in general, one of the game modes that definitely needs an upgrade or an overhaul is player career mode. I think PES does a better version of it. Become a Legend seems to be the better game mode out of the two, but player career mode really is the same thing for the last, I don't even know how long, but maybe 10 years, ever since it got introduced. I think I picked up an old FIFA game, and player career mode basically was the same sort of thing, and there wasn't really much difference between FIFA 21 and the old versions from old FIFA games. So yeah, it definitely needs an improvement. There's tons of stuff you can do with it, just steal stuff from the journey and put it into player career mode, like press conferences and player interviews and all that kind of stuff. There's heaps of stuff they can do, and they could make it more storyline based, I don't know, but it definitely needs something, because right now, I don't even think about playing it. Just the thought of me actually trying to play player career mode turns me right off. This one was also suggested by Humphrey, and it is the ability to manage the national team only in career mode. So obviously this is a cool feature that could be integrated into career mode if they really wanted to. I think there's two ways they could do it. They could do it where, you have an existing save with a club and then you join the national team, and then you have the option to, forget about the club or something. But there's also another option, and I think this is the better option. There should be a tile that says national team only or international career mode only. You know what I'm trying to say. They'll think of something. They get paid to think of these things. But when you click on that, you'll pick a national team and you'll have the ability to manage that national team. And then obviously maybe you can transfer to different national teams as you go along after a couple of years. And then there would also be an option where you click on it and it will integrate you into normal career mode as well. Similar to how a player can retire in player career mode and then they become like a manager in manager mode. It's just a seamless transfer where you can go from a national career mode only to a normal crew mode where you pick a club and then you can manage, clubs and national teams once again. So those were just a few things that I was thinking of off the top of my head, but I'm definitely interested in this feature. And lastly, we have another career mode suggestion from Humphrey. He would like to see transfer bans in career mode for clubs that have one in real life. I think when Chelsea got the transfer ban, I think it was last year or something, a lot of people were expecting FIFA 20 career mode to have that in place, but I don't think they did it. And it could be something that sounds easy to do coming out of my mouth, but harder to put into a game. So it could be one of those concepts, but it would definitely make the game a little bit more realistic. But currently, there's no signs that EA is going to be doing transfer bans in career mode. If you need something else to watch, make sure you check out this FIFA 20 video. Hit the card in the middle, it'll take you right there. I'll see you next time.